let's try some new makeup and talk about the Creators and Friends holiday party. If you saw my vlog yesterday, I posted a vlog where I went to Vegas and I went to the Creators and Friends second annual holiday party. That's the whole reason I went to Vegas. I had planned to post my next video talking about the holiday party. I thought I would film it the next night in the clown motel. Vlog coming tomorrow, but the walls are made out of clown themed tissue paper, so I didn't. So here I am back home. I'm going to tell you about it today, and then tomorrow's vlog is still going to be about me going to the clown motel. And as I tell you about it, there was a goodie bag provided at the event, which was really fun. There's a lot of things in it that I'm very excited to try. There were a couple palettes. I think the one that I want to use today is Secret Grove from Gourmand Girls. I have never tried this brand, but it's vegan and cruelty free, and I really like the choice of colors in here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it, but I think I am going to use it today. I also got from Nomad Cosmetics, who I've never tried, the Polar Express palette, but I think I might do its own video with this, because I feel like it's kind of a big deal that I've never tried Nomad. So I might save this one and post it a different day. I also got 2 shades of the Unearthly Cosmetics Menacing Metals lipstick. It's that type of font where there's like straight up an S in front of the M that you're just supposed to ignore. But I like it, it's artistic, okay? I have 2 shades of that and I'm probably gonna use one of those. Yeah, let's just hop in, because I've been pretty eager to get this on my eyes. And you know what? My brushes are really dirty because I haven't had a chance to wash them in what feels like years. And I got a couple little travel brushes from Sigma. I'm curious how big these are going to be, because travel scares me. I'm like, are they going to get lost in my little cat cup of brushes? Okay, these aren't that tiny. There's 3 little brushes in the set. And this one is precisely the brush that I love using for my crease that I already have 2 of that are crease colored right now. It's the E25. Yeah, the travel size, is this whole thing called the ferrule? If so, the ferrule's like a centimeter shorter, and this is like 2 centimeters shorter. I don't use the metric system. So, the whole idea of the Creators and Friends, if you haven't heard of it, it was started, I believe, last year by Samantha March and Simbri Thanks. And the whole idea was that as content creators, often being able to meet each other is dictated by brands. Brands will take people away for trips or even like single night events, and that's how creators get to meet other creators who are in the same line of work as them. So their idea was that, you know, instead of waiting for brands to take us away, let's create an event where basically creators get to network with each other. And they do get brands to like sponsor some events, like especially for their like trips, like they'll do full-on trips. They'll get like brands to sponsor a dinner or something, go to a class, but it's not like the whole thing's about selling Tarte Shape Tape, you know? So I just used this pretty bright color boho in my crease, and it worked really well. I like this matte formula so far because my preference for matte formulas is something a little bit more hard pressed. It's not going to be like powdery everywhere. And this has like no kick up in the pan, and it went on and blended beautifully. So it's not my usual color that I choose for my crease, but it really worked awesome. And I'm excited for this to be like the start of a more colorful look. So also the idea with the Christmas party is that as a creator, you don't get like a holiday party, you know, through your work, like people that work in an office do. So they're like, let's have a holiday party. So this was their second one. I was invited a couple months ago, and I was like kind of freaking out. It's a funny thing, like, I don't know. It's kind of like a bigger discussion about my own interpretation of the validity of what I do here. Because in like content creation, you're legitimized by people watching you. If you don't have a lot of subscribers, it's like what you do is a hobby. And I do personally, like, I have to think about this as a hobby because I don't make enough money for it to be like my work. So if I was only looking at this as work, I would find a new job, you know? Like, I'm not doing this to make money, I'm doing this because, like, I'm passionate about it. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes I don't give myself enough credit for what I do, for, like, the amount of work I do put in, because I do put in the same amount of work that I would if I had way more people watching me, you know? Like, I am rushing home from my 9 to 5 to spend all night filming and editing, and I think that hard work that I put into this is something that I can be proud of, even though my subscriber count isn't huge. You know what I mean? So seeing the invite was kind of like, I don't know, like, I don't want to read too much into, like, getting a freaking Instagram message, but, like, it was kind of validating. It was kind of like a roller coaster of emotion of, like, why me? But then I was like, no, I do put in work, and having, like, you know, like, a low subscriber count doesn't mean that I don't put in work. So I got the invite. It was conveniently happening on my boyfriend's birthday. And my brother's birthday is the following day. But, yeah, I had, like, talked to my boyfriend about it the next day, and I'm like, I have to go. And he's like, yeah, like, I get, like, you have to go. He's a good sport. He's not, like, a big birthday person anyway. Like, I feel like I'm so excited about my birthday, and if I wasn't, like, doing much on my birthday, I'd be, like, sitting around feeling a little sorry for myself. But, like, he's not like that. He's, like, happy to play video games and go out for barbecue food, which he probably wouldn't if I was there. I put this, like, light, sheeny peach in, like, this inner part of my eye. I don't really think it did much there. I think this could probably work better, maybe, like, under my eyebrow or something. I don't think this is, like, the spot for it. And my eyes might be a little bit watery, so I feel like that's why it's, like, a little dark right in that spot. I don't know, I'm just messing around. I am curious about this shade Bewitching, because it looks like such, like, a oily formula. Oh, it feels a little bit wet to the touch. Oh, that looks nice, though. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, that, yeah. You know, it's a little dark for my preferences, so I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate it in the look. But that's, like, a really nice shiny shade, and it, like, swatched out very soft. Like, I was nervous from the look of it in the pan that it was going to be more of, like, a pressed glitter type of thing. But this looks like a really nice shiny shadow. I want to swatch out the other shade in here also, which is Euphoric, because the two of them look very different. Yeah, they are definitely different formulas. Euphoric does have a little bit of a shift to it too. Like, I'm seeing that, like, gold greeniness to it, but it's less of a shiny shadow. I feel like this darker one, Bewitching, is definitely, like, the more special of the two. So, the time came. I got my little self on a flight to Vegas, and I did post that vlog yesterday. So if you're curious about my antics leading up to the event, I also went to, like, an antique store beforehand because I had, like, a day to kill in Vegas. I had a really nice time. But yeah, when the time for the event came, you know, I was nervous. I was like talking to myself, and I'm like, this is nuts. I'm like, this is nuts. I'm like, why me? I also, beforehand, I didn't know who was going to be there, other than, well, of course, Samantha March and Simbri Thinks. I knew they'd be there, and I never miss a new makeup video from Angie. It's, like, part of my Friday morning, you know? She posts her video talking about, like, the roundup of all the new makeup from the previous week, and I always watch that. And the prior week, she had mentioned that she would be at the Creators and Friends holiday party with her husband. So I'm going, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to walk into, other than I know I'm going to meet Samantha, Simbri, and Angie. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy all on its own. Also, we talked about this in the vlog, so I'm not really gonna get into it, but I did forget, like, my most important makeup product. And I went to Ulta last minute, and I'm, like, standing online in Ulta while, like, the people in front of me are being so slow, and the cashier is like, take your time, to the person in front of me, which, like, I get it. It was just, like, it was unfortunate timing because I was in such a rush. I'm standing there with, like, mural from Cleona on my eyes and nothing else. and like waiting to be able to check out with my concealer. So I did end up getting to the party late, which I was upset about also because I was like, I literally don't know what I'm walking into. I don't know if everyone's gonna be like sitting around in a circle and I'm gonna have to walk in late and being like, hey, what did I miss? This hot pink also went on really nicely. It's not as bold as I thought it would be from the pan, but that does kind of make sense with what I've seen from the formula. So, I parked my little rental car at the event. I'm walking up to it, and thankfully, there were two people outside just like, you know, having some fresh air. It was Ashley and Joy. So I talked to them first, and they were both so nice, so awesome. I feel like that's what I needed, especially at that moment, because I'm like, you know, it's nerve-wracking to be walking up to a place where, like, A, you don't know anyone, and B, you're, like, kind of intimidated. So it really, like, put me at ease to talk to these, like, two, like, really lovely, easygoing people. And then, like, when I headed in for the rest of the event, it was like, all right, like, now I know two people. This shade feels a little bit more messy. Oh, a lot more messy. Damn it, I like the color of this. I was hoping this would be the same harder pressed formula. Did I get it up here also? How does that even happen? So by the time I went back inside with them, I felt like I was a little bit more at ease because I no longer knew no one. Talked to Brianna and Elea. I talked a lot to Stacy and her +1 Kayla. You know, this eye went on a lot neater. I mean, still pretty messy though. Okay, let me put some shimmers into this look. I think I'm just gonna go in with both of those shimmers. Bewitching, I'll try to keep to the outer. I kind of went on that same shape that I was applying the eyeshadow. I don't really know what I'm doing. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. I do feel like the texture of this as I'm putting it on with my finger. I think the texture is a little bit more consistent with like what I see in the pan, you know? It doesn't look in the pan like it's going to be a smooth shadow, and it doesn't really feel like it either. And let's try Euphoric. Okay. Yeah, I do wish there was a shimmer that was kind of like halfway between the depths of these. I do like that it's a matte heavy palette, especially because most of the mattes that I've tried so far, I like the formula of them. But I feel like it would be cool to have one like medium pink shimmer or something like that. Or even like any type of warm color, but like in a medium tone. I also have this Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Diamond Dust. I did see a couple other people like post pictures of their goodie bag, and I think there were some different shades in this, so I happened to get this one that's Luminous Gleam that looks kind of like a rose gold. So I think this product is meant to be a highlighter, but this shade clearly wouldn't be a highlighter on me. Maybe this would work as like a blush topper. Maybe I'll try that too, but I thought I'd also just see. It looks like it might be sparkly enough to like work as an eye topper for this look. I can't tell. All right, pay close attention. The question is, did that do anything? I think it did. I think it did add a little bit of like PC shimmer that we don't have here. But when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. Eh? Yeah, it doesn't really add a lot. I feel like if I was going to do this extra step of dipping my finger into something else to add extra sparkle, I have a million indie single shadows that I would do that with. Hopefully this works better for me as like a blush topper. Okay, I'm gonna put my base on quickly, but I am gonna link my Instagram down below. I made a post already, just like with pictures from the event, and I tagged, I think all of the creators that I met, I tagged in that post. So I would encourage you to use that to check them out. And perhaps I'll add some more YouTube links down below for the creators I met that also have YouTube channels. Okay, I put on my primer, foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, and it's time for blush. I figured I would just see if this does work on its own, like for science. Although, as I think I said, looks to me like it's meant to be a highlighter just for a deeper skin tone than what I have. But sometimes you just don't know, and I do like some glow on my blush, but like if it comes off just sparkly, it might not work for me. I think that might work. I think the thing that I like about this too is, like, because it's just like the base of a highlighter, it's not giving that much color, and I prefer a blush that's less pigmented. But I might have to like look around it in different lights because, well, recently I talked about an Essence product that like is clearly a highlighter, but they like market it as a bronzer also. And I realized that that in certain lights looks so frosty that I'm like, okay, I can't wear it as a bronzer. So I wonder how this is going to play out. Yeah, I'm really curious, like, what I'm doing in my face right now. But I think on camera, it's working like I hoped it would. Oh, you can see that, like, glow like I have a highlighter on, though. And I guess I do have a highlighter. I'm just misusing it. I think for my actual highlighter, I'm going to use this one from House Labs. This is the shade Pink Amethyst. And this is just, like, a pink sparkle. So I feel like this does, for my skin tone, what that Physicians Formula one is meant to do on a deeper skin tone. But because of that, I think it'll tie in nicely having both products on my cheek. Because this, like, has pretty much no base, but it has, like, pink shimmer to it. Okay, where was I? I was telling you about the people I met. I also talked to Mela, who is on YouTube as Mela Yella. I talked to M, who I believe is also on YouTube. All right, I need to wash my brushes like today because this is getting out of control. It just sucks because I'm so busy, and if I wash them, I can't use them right after. So I have to like plan it out. Okay, for my lower lash line, I don't want to go in with the same dark shade, which is a shame because I love the look of the shade, but I know especially now that I have my base down, I don't want to get that fallout on it. So perhaps I'll use that same boho as my like lower lash line transition shade and just pop this down all over first. And then I think I'm just going to go in with that hot pink because I had pretty good luck with that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think ideally I would have some of the same depth on the lower lash line that I do on the top. But this does look nice. It feels more of like a statement pink lower lash line. And I would take that over a fallouty face. Cool. So I did talk a bit with some of the larger creators there also. Samantha March is the type of person that like, I feel like she's like a no one is a stranger type of person. She's just very instantly warm. It didn't feel like the first time I met her when I met her, which is awesome. Like I love people like that who don't make you feel like you have to prove anything. It's like she already knows you and she already likes you and she's already down. I like that. I also talked a little bit to Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun, and she was awesome. Her husband was awesome. I had asked her what she had on her eyes and she was like, Fantasy Cosmetica. And I was like, wheels turning. Your collab. You have a collab with them, and that's what she was wearing, and it looked awesome. And I talked to Angie a little bit, who looks like a doll in person. And I don't know if it's just because I'm like so used to seeing her online that like it's a funny thing to see someone in person who you've only seen online, and like they are like a full breathing living thing. This sounds so weird. But maybe you know what I mean. It's like, on YouTube, we are this. We are a talking head. And in person, we have, like, body language. But she was really cool. Her husband was really cool. And it was funny talking to creators who I already know who they are because, like, they don't know who I am. But at the same time, like, the whole thing was so relaxed and everyone was so nice. Because that was kind of one of my concerns going in, that, like, I don't want to go to like their holiday party and act like a fangirl, even just accidentally. Like I didn't want to make them feel like they're at a meet and greet when they're at this holiday party. But also clearly like all of the larger creators know that there's smaller creators coming who, for some of them, like me, it's the first time I'm meeting anyone off the internet other than my boyfriend, but makeup wise. And it is like a little bit of a funny experience to see someone in person who you have watched online. And it just made me think about how funny, like, the whole thing is that, like, we watch people online to hear their opinions about makeup or, like, whatever else you watch, but you can't help from kind of, like, feeling like you know them and liking them and bonding with them. Here I am just describing parasocial relationships. But I guess I wonder if, like, the people who I met are going to, like, feel different to me on YouTube now because I know, like, I know that they're real people now. Like, I've seen them as real people. I'm gonna have to cut this whole thing out. I sound nuts. And at the party, there was a photo booth, there were some drinks, there was a giveaway of, like, more products and, like, this Creators and Friends, like, embroidered, I think, bag. It was really cute. Someone won it. I didn't get a chance to talk to everyone, which I am sad about. Like, I wish I got to connect with everybody there, but it was hard balancing having enough time to have, like, some meaningful conversations with some people, as well as, like, just, you know, connecting with other people. One person that I'm so sad that I didn't get to talk to is Lori Hill. I don't know if you guys watch her, but she does videos about plastic surgery. And when I started watching her a couple years ago, it was so eye-opening to me how much celebrities get surgery and then convince you that, like, they're, like, these effortless beauties. And she, like, really lays out the case so clearly of, like, look at the difference between this and this. Like, it doesn't just happen that you lose all the fat above your eyelid. So that's kind of a side tangent, but she was there. She was there and I didn't meet her and I'm sad about that. So at the party, Samantha and Simbri had mentioned that they were gonna do, like, an after party at a nearby casino, club, I don't know what to call things, and anyone who wanted to come was invited. So I ended up going. It was at, is it Durango? It might be Durango, something like that. It's just like a, yeah, hotel, casino, club, and we had a couple tables, and it was nice to kind of, like, keep things going, have some more conversations. I talked to Kelly Gooch, who also is, like, a doll in person, like, absolutely stunning. And she was with Latoya, I think her name was. I'm so sorry if I'm getting that wrong, but she was also awesome. Yeah, it was funny because when I first went out, the party was supposed to end at 10, so I'm like, all right, I'll be back in my room at, like, by 10:30 and, you know, pajamas on and watching Love is Blind, and I ended up being out till, like, 1:30. But that's so cool, and I feel like it says something about either, like, I don't know, something about either the vibe of the party or about the people that Samantha and Simbri chose to invite, or about the type of people in the beauty community, that everyone was just so warm and welcoming. I didn't get a single vibe of, like, what is she doing here? To anyone. And the fact that, like, you know, I had flown to Vegas by myself, not knowing anyone at the party, and I think there was other people in the same situation as me, but we all felt, like, at home and welcome. It was really awesome. Like, it was really, like, the best I could have asked for. Oh, I should be finishing my makeup. And I think for me, too, it gave me, like, did I lose the eyeliner in here? There's just nothing in here. I wanted to use my hot pink. There's just nothing in there. I need to do an eyeliner declutter sometime soon. I can use this new one from Danessa Myricks that I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it yet. And it's called Treasure, and I stayed at Treasure Island when I was in Vegas. Look at that. It was meant to be. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I'm missing from my story. I talked to April Monique Beauty. She was really awesome, and her husband was there, and he was really cool. Bianca Skogan Beauty. Again, I'm sorry for anyone's name that I'm mispronouncing. I try my best. There's a couple, like, skincare things in here, too, from Undefined Beauty. And the day after the party, I had a revelation, and I was like, am I gonna have to, like, get rid of these to be able to bring them on the plane? But they're conveniently all, like, small enough that it was fine. Yeah, like a sun serum, a night serum, a cleanser. Oh, there's also this lip oil from Gourmand Girls. And I forgot to say also that Christina from Gourmand Girls, I feel like I'm saying that differently every time. Gourmand. Christina from Gourmand Girls was at the party, and I didn't get to talk to her either, but everyone was saying how sweet she was. But yeah, I didn't get to talk to her. We talked about lip oils recently in the video where I think the video where I was trying out sheer black lip products, and I mentioned liking when there's, like, big meaty doe foots for lip oils. I'm not going to use this one today, but that is indeed a big meaty doe foot, and I am very excited about that. I'm also really excited for this Fantasy Cosmetica lipstick. It's in the shade Hidden, which is described as a cool nude, and I feel like it's going to be so beautiful. I think I'm going to use this in the video where I try out the Nomad palette. I got a palette from Sigma. I got some sunglasses. A lip plumper from Physicians Formula. I don't know if I'm going to try that because I'm terrified of lip plumpers because their goal is to hurt me. Yeah, so these unearthly lipsticks, I think these released like right after the party because I hadn't heard anything about them before the party. So then when I kind of like peeked in the goodie bag that night and I saw these, I wasn't sure if this is a product they already had or what, but yeah, I guess it was a product that was like instantly upcoming. So I have the shade Bloodstone and the shade Ember. Okay, so here's Ember. It's a copper shade, and I don't think that's going to go with this look. It's a really nice component. It's kind of like a big magnetic component. And then the shade Bloodstone, I think this is going to be the one that I use. It's like a metallic red. And I feel like that's so cool. Okay, I wasn't filming. I wasn't filming myself putting that on, but I just put it on, and my comments as I put it on were just putting it on. And my comments as I put it on were just, oh, that's creamy. I was surprised by how creamy it was. I was complaining when I was at the party to anyone that would listen, how the second I landed in Vegas, my lips just like instantly dried out. I am meant for the humidity. I like the humidity, okay? I like it. It's good for me. It's good for my skin. The dryness in Vegas, like it literally hurts me. And the whole time I'm there, I'm like putting my lip balm like over the whole bottom half of my face. So all that just to say, my lip line on the bottom is a little unsmooth because the bottom of my lips is a little unsmooth from the dryness. I probably could have sharpened that up with the lip liner, but also I know that like in a couple days, now that I'm back in my beautiful New York humidity, I'll be all healed again and I'll be okay. This lip is so holiday also, and I like that. Like, I think it'll work in other times of the year, but I think especially for right now in December, cute, so holiday. I really feel like this party too kind of like, I don't want to say reinvigorated because it's not even like I'm not invigorated, but I feel like I have a pep in my step because of it. I feel like it kind of validated the work I do to myself because my brain was really looking at it as like, why did I get invited to this? You know, like why did me, Hannah, a makeup lover who's just like in her room loving makeup, get invited to this? And it made me kind of like have to take a second and be like, I'm not just a makeup lover, but I'm someone who's like been actively trying to connect with other people over a shared love of makeup for years. And of course it wouldn't happen without these larger creators that are willing to include smaller creators in these events. But it did kind of make me take a second, like in between, like, why did I get invited to like, no, like I've done a lot of work. And even though I don't have 100,000 subscribers, I've done a lot of work. I've tried at this for years. Maybe all this is to say it made it feel real. It made it feel real instead of like me forgetting about the fact that I do this, me thinking about myself as just like a makeup lover in my bedroom. It showed me that it's real because here I am having an opportunity that I only have because I do this and I've been doing this for a while. Yeah, I think that's the point I've been trying to make. So even though now I am just back to being by myself and filming in my room, talking about makeup, playing with makeup, I have the knowledge now that like there is something concrete to it. I'm gonna wrap this up here. I hope I managed to make cohesive thoughts about the party. If you enjoyed this, I hope you will give me a thumbs up and subscribe. As I said earlier, I have another vlog coming tomorrow. I know some people like the vlogs, some people don't like the vlogs. I really just do them when like I go somewhere, and I feel like for me it's also a fun little like trip diary. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna have the vlog about my second day in Nevada and going to a clown motel. And after that, I think there's no more vlogs for the rest of the month and probably for a while, okay? So if you don't like them, you're off the hook for a while. Either way though, I really appreciate you being here and I will see you very soon. Bye!